briefly more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, Raquel. Nice to meet you. My name's Andy with Jungle Scout. So, what we provide is basically intelligence tools for sellers on Amazon. So, what we specialize in, and we're the first players in the space in doing, was providing product sales performance estimates, as well as things like keyword performance, a bunch of different data to really help sellers be more efficient, more effective on Amazon. So we have two different platforms that we currently provide. We got our start with what we consider more of a consumer grade tool now that we call Orange. It's on our website. It'll just say, the standard Jungle Scout tool. And then what we'll be looking at today is our enterprise level platform designed for, really any sellers that are basically north of $2 million in revenue a year on Amazon. So essentially an enterprise level tool is the one that we'll be taking a look at today. So just gives you a quick overview there to start. Any initial questions based on that, Raquel?
No, I don't have any question so far.
Okay, perfect. And I guess, just wanted to double check. Juan, did you hear from your other colleague as well?
Yes.
Okay, and will he be joining?
Well, let me talk to him again.
Okay, because I was gonna say I can hold off for a moment here before if he's going to be joining. If not, the call is going to be recorded, so I can always send that recording over to you, Juan, so that you can share it internally.
Well, I think with Raquel is enough. I think
Yes.
we mostly do FBA than FEM. I seldom see FEM fulfillments, or maybe I'm wrong. But when I was in logistics, I saw more FEA than FEM. So
okay,
I think we can start.
Okay, no worries. We'll go ahead and get rolling here then. Let me know when you can see my screen.
I see it. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what we're looking at here is, again, going to be that Cobalt platform. We're looking at what we call a segment view. And based on Juan's feedback, he mentioned you guys are pretty big in the kitchen appliance space. So I just went and grabbed, countertop blenders. So hopefully this is a good subcategory to look at. To be clear, there's a lot of flexibility in how you create these segment views. So you really get to determine what you're comparing here. But one of the things we have done is map over those, browse nodes or subcategories from Amazon. So you can just go quickly click and grab the subcategory you might be selling into or looking to analyze. So just gives you some clarity there. We are looking at 1 year's snapshot of data. This tool can go out 2 years in historical data, to be clear. So you can really get a good feel for what those historical trends have looked like when it comes to sales performance or subcategory performance here. So also can completely customize that date range if you wanted to do, benchmarking, sales performance quarter over quarter, month over month, that kind of thing. So speaking to your point and question earlier, Juan, this entire page that we're about to go through is the main and biggest difference between this platform and our other tool. I'll call it Orange to help differentiate. But that tool does not give you any type of subcategory or category level performance. It also will only go back 6 months in sales performance for a product. Outside of that, it's really more used to look at like a monthly sales snapshot. So between the depth of data available or range of data available and then the category level information are some of the biggest and glaring differences. But you'll obviously see here in a second what some of that category level information looks like. But I just kind of wanted to preface it with that. Sorry, Raquel, did you have a question there?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
If you guys do have any questions, feel free to jump in and interrupt me. You won't throw me off or anything like that. So feel free to hop in if you do have a question. So just looking at this first section here, really what this is giving you is, how big of an opportunity do we have in front of us for the countertop blenders? How big is this space? So in this case, in the last year, this category or subcategory has done about 390 million in revenue, and that is across 3.2 million unit sales. Also giving you some information on how competitive the category is. So showing you how many brands have products listed here and how many ASINs those brands have accounted for. And then we also give you some more, like surface level type information, average number of reviews for the products listed in the category, as well as a median price for this subcategory as well. Obviously pretty straightforward data, right? Just not something most people get access to because Amazon doesn't provide this information. So pretty eye-opening when you're able to get to access this, but wanted to pause, see if you guys had any questions on this section here. Nope. Okay, perfect.
No.
So we'll move down into the segment trends category or section here. This is looking at essentially consumer buying behavior over time. So we'll look at unit sales here. With something like a blender, probably a big Black Friday and holiday gift item. So huge spikes, as you can see around that Black Friday holiday period. Also seeing some spikes around, summertime, which makes sense. Blender is probably getting used for, frozen drinks and things like that. So, would make sense that we would see a spike in the summertime as well and kind of leading into that. So really just giving you better understanding of, how seasonal is this subcategory? What does that consumer buying behavior look like? Hopefully allowing you to better forecast for years to come, as well as just understanding, hey, is this category growing? Is it shrinking? If you're seeing your product performance, go up or down, you can get in because this is updated daily. Or essentially daily, and be able to better understand, hey, is it something that we just did with our pricing strategy that's causing our sales to go down, or is it something with that listing optimization strategy we just changed? Just giving you better line of sight on what the entire subcategory is doing, so you can then take a look back at your product's performance and better understand what strategy is working well for you guys. Or what kind of strategy you want to deploy depending on what's happening in these subcategories that you're selling into. So it gives you a bunch of different information. Also breaking down 1P and 3P sales here for you. So looking at revenue from both sides of it, so you can understand which strategy is dominant in these subcategories that you're looking at. Just another layer of analysis, even looking at, what has happened with the number of products, how competitive is this category getting? So it looks like it's actually shrank a fair amount. So down to 1,500 products, up from, basically lost, 100 products in the last year. So giving you a better sense of, again, how competitive the category is getting versus the actual category performance as a whole. Also looking at, what's happened with the median price there as well within the category. So giving you a lot of different information to take a look at there. Wanted to pause again, see if you had any questions on this section here before we move on.
Can we take a look
Yes.
at the brands?
Yep, absolutely. Looks like that's gone down a bit as well, down from 400 to about 376.
Okay.
Just the medium price. Can I see the minimum price, for example, or the maximum price? Because the bully box usually belongs to the competitor or the seller with the minimum price.
So since we're looking at category level information, I think it'd be more helpful once we get into the products and brands tab to look at individual brand and product price strategies. So because I think, as a whole, if we're talking about winning a buy box, we're talking about a specific product, right? So getting into an actual brand and the products being sold, getting that price range, as well as,
Okay.
we'll hop into it here in a moment once we finish the other tab, but you can get into individual product pricing strategies. So seeing what price they're listing products at during certain times of the year, things like that.
Okay. I
Yep.
see. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions on this section here before we move on?
No.
Okay. Is this looking like it'd be helpful for you guys so far? I know, Rockwell, you're obviously coming in late to the conversation, so I think Juan maybe had already a little bit of an idea of what to expect here, but wanted to make sure this looks like it'd be valuable for you guys.
I will have to export this to Excel and to use it in any other platform, or may I?
Yep, there is the
There is
option to
any way to make connections with Google Sheets, for example?
Yeah, so you can actually export all the raw data going into these outputs. You can export to a CSV file, which you can utilize in Google Sheets. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. So moving down to brand trends, and sorry, let's hit refresh on this because it dropped off some of the brands I had selected here. But all I've done is just sorted based on the top 9 selling brands, and then the last line you'll see here, I believe it should be black, is going to be the sum of everybody else. So basically everybody I didn't select is included in that black line. But again, we're looking at unit sales over time here by brand. So giving you a clear picture of how well one brand may be performing over another. So in this category, it looks like actually the top 5 to 6 brands really account for the vast majority of this category's performance. Because the sum of all others is total is less than Ninja's sales here. So just gives you a clear picture of which brand is outperforming other brands. Also able to look at during some of these peak periods who performed best, and can help highlight that, so you can then go in and see what strategy were they using. Were they getting really aggressive on price? Were they running lightning deals? Were they investing in different keywords? Things of that nature, especially as you look at something like this period here. It looks like maybe at the beginning of Q2, really April through basically the end of June. You see these massive spikes from looks like NutriBullet there. So definitely sparks my interest and makes me want to dive into them as a brand within the next tab here and see what were they doing different than everybody else that they were able to affect this whole category that much, because really those spikes are mostly coming from them, it appears, as we look at it. So can really help lend itself to that root cause analysis type use case. Also, as you guys are making strategy adjustments, maybe investing in different keywords or adjusting your marketing strategy, you're then able to go in and see how much that's affecting your brand share in the subcategories you're selling into, to be able to go back and say, hey, let's keep throwing some more money at this campaign. Maybe we need some more advertising budget freed up to continue that growth, or maybe the opposite. Like, hey, maybe we didn't see any positive results out of that additional advertising spend, and maybe we want to pull that back and try a different strategy. So just gives you a much clearer way to understand that brand share in these subcategories that you're looking at. If you switch over to our percent area chart, it actually breaks down that brand share by percentage here. So it gives you that as a data point as well. So that way you can be able to report on that specific metrics without having to do the math across the whole subcategory. The next view here is what we call a tree map chart. This is really designed to help identify top performing brands, or even top performing products down here within a subcategory. And the reason this is so helpful is because when we look at a subcategory like this with 1,500 products in it, it's easy for something like Preeti or Joe Young here or Beast to really get buried in the bottom of the data, so to speak, or the bottom of the list, because they only have 0.6% of the market share here. But in reality, they're actually outperforming almost the entire category when it comes to growth. So up 856% in market share, 906% in unit sales. So helps highlight that, and then allows you to maybe go take a look at Beast here and see what are they doing different than everybody else. Are they coming in at a different price point? Are they providing a slightly different product? How are they differentiating themselves? So it can be extremely helpful. And then obviously from there you can adjust on the fly. Hey, is that something that we can recreate as well with that strategy to help capitalize on some of that brand share that they're stealing, or maybe defensive strategies to make sure that they're not stealing any share from your brand, as well as looking at something like Hamilton Beach that's bleeding share here. Hey, is there something we can do to capitalize on their loss in share and make sure it's coming to our brand versus somebody else? So it really allows you to do a couple of different things from a strategy perspective with highlighting that type of data. Wanted to pause again here, see if you guys had any questions on these last few views that we've looked at here before we jump over into the products and brands tab.
Well, Raquel, I would like to ask you, do we sell any of these brands that we see here?
Since this is very useful, but I don't know.
Andy, can you expand the brand, um, well, please go back to segment dashboard, and in the brand tab, could you please, no, upper
Oh,
left.
sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you please go down a little bit? Wow. Well, we have a Hamilton Beach, a frigidaire. I think we have frigidaire. I saw frigidaire today. I sold the frigidaire today. But well, Brentwood.
Brentwood, we have Brentwood, yes.
Can you add Brentwood to this graphic, please? Huh?
Yeah, they're pretty far down the list, so I imagine they'll have a relatively small share. So looking at like 100, 150 units a week or so. Yeah, and if I go over to the percent area, less than 1% of share. So I'd imagine they're probably
Okay, so at first glance, the obvious conclusion is that we should buy from Vitamix, Ninja, and NutriBullet instead of Brentwood.
Yep, potentially. Yeah, if you can get purchase it at a good price, right?
Of course. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to know because I haven't seen any of those brands in our stock. But I don't know if Raquel had. Interesting. Very interesting. Besides, I think all this data can be used for other programs like for data analytics. I used to have one. I don't remember the name now. But well, I think it's very useful information. It can help us budget, well, pricing, and know which are the top seller brands, which one we should ditch, which one we should try to associate with. So well, this first part, well, it just sells itself.
Yep, absolutely. And being able to pair that category level information with the individual product performance here is where the tool is unique in the marketplace. There's no other provider out there providing both of those two things together, because then you can come in here, look at something like a magic bullet, break down each individual product's performance over that period of time, look at pricing strategies, all types of different things. So it looks like, potentially a good option here with a bunch of FBM and FBA. It gives you a bunch of information, and then you can even take a deeper dive from here. So if you select the individual product, it's going to take you to a product performance page where you can then take a deep dive on this specific product and different strategies that a brand may be leveraging here. So looking at this, in this case, we'll take a look at, let's look at unit sales versus buy box price. Looking at, obviously here in this case, they really got aggressive when it came to Black Friday. It looks like with this product dropping it from, $40 down to as low as $22. Wow, that's a really good deal. So obviously got very aggressive, and you see that reflected within the product's performance itself. And there's a bunch of different data points you can look at here. So you can break this down by 1P and 3P. You can even look at review counts over time, a bunch of different information that you can take a peek at. Also giving you down here whether they're using lightning deals or not. So that would be reflected here in that promotion section at the bottom. And then highlighting a bunch of different things when it comes to the listing itself. So whether there's buy box owner changes, if it gets an Amazon choice badge, rating changes, listing changes. So I'm trying to find one here for you. So we're even tracking like anytime a listing gets changed, and this listing hasn't changed in a while. But gives you before and after. So it looks like they may have just just adjusted maybe the pixels on that image or optimized it. Looks like
Okay, so we can know what brands are top sellers and which products are top sellers from these brands, right?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yep. And then from here, beyond just like pricing strategies and things like that, listing optimization strategies, you can also look at keyword performance for this product. So it's gonna give you keyword ranking for this product, identify which keywords they have choice badges on, giving you 30-day search volumes, and even giving you trends that go out an entire quarter for that search volume instead of just 30 days. And then also identifying what their ranks are on those keywords, so you can sort that by organic or sponsored. So it's also going to be highlighting which keywords they're investing in as a from the PPC strategy, and then also giving you a better idea of how easy it would be for your product to rank on that keyword as well. So giving you a bunch of information, and again, this is downloadable to CSV here as well. So if you wanted to go take that and utilize it for your listing optimization or for PPC strategy, you can do that as well. And then this is also where you would set up tracking on a product. So if you wanted to really keep close tabs on one or be able to quickly get to these product pages, you can set up tracking as well as alerts on the individual product here too. So we'll take a quick look at that in a moment. Sorry, I shouldn't have clicked away from that yet. Any questions on this product page here that we're looking at?
Well, I don't know if it's related, but it just came up to me. I just came up with this. Can we know which product or brand? Can we break down the sales by region?
No, not within the United States. All we can do is break it down by individual Amazon geography. So currently we support US as well as Europe. So that would be all we would be able to differentiate between with this tool.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So on the next tab over, this is going to be the 3P sellers tab. It actually identifies all the top 3P sellers in a category. Not sure why this isn't already loaded. That should have loaded a while ago. Let's see if we can refresh it. Get that to load. Not sure why that's doing that. But again, what that tab's going to do is actually break down, like I mentioned, all the top 3P sellers, and then you can even break it down by individual brand. So if you wanted to go grab Beast Health or grab Hamilton Beach or Brentwood, it would actually break down for you like each all of the top sellers for those specific brands. So if I grab like Hamilton Beach here, it should give me all of the top third-party sellers for that brand, give you an idea how much revenue they're pulling in, how often they're winning in the buy box, that kind of thing, how many ASINs they have listed. So it gives you a bunch of information.
Can you look for us in sellers?
Yeah, let me see all brands here. And what name would that be under?
Salesstores.com, right? Okay. No, sale, like sale stores all together.
All together.
Yes. .com.
We're not showing up. That's interesting.
Stores, yeah.
Maybe if I go to, what was some of the brands that you guys said, some of the bigger brands that you're selling?
Let me check the name here. Like this.
Oh, did I not have it right? Okay, let me try that. I don't know why. Maybe it could be why with how I pulled the subcategory to take a look at. What was some of the brands you guys listed that you were selling?
Let's see. ASA. Oh, Summit. Summit.
Summit.
Summit, yes.
I wanted to look at ASA because I think it's our top seller.
We are selling in about 2,000 ASINs of Summit.
Okay, maybe it's because
yes.
Are they not in countertop blenders? Is that why?
Oh yes, not countertop, it's appliances.
Yes, that's probably
appliances.
Yeah, so that's probably why. So, but yeah, so moving on into a share of voice here. So this is going to be probably more helpful. One, I know you guys are mentioning that you're launching your own private label products. This is basically brand performance on keywords. So if we're looking at, we can use countertop blenders again as a search term here, but this is going to give you, oh, I spelled it wrong, that's why. Like I mentioned, actual brand performance on these keywords, so you can then see who the top performing brands are. Just take a look at Blender. That's going to have a higher search volume anyways. Yeah, 406,000 in the last 30 days. But this is going to tell you basically digital shelf space for these brands. So typically we go out 2 to 3 pages in the search results. We look at how many products those brands have showing up within those first couple of pages, and then the average position of those products that brand has listed in the search results. And then we just do a simple math equation between number of products and average position to give you a basic share of voice for that brand. So not looking at, anything like, Amazon choice badges. So like for weighted share of voice, we'll more heavily weight products that have a choice badge, or products that are showing in the top 10 are going to get a higher weight. Basically just things that are inherently going to, improve your shelf space, so to speak.
Andy, we're currently launching our own brand. I don't know the name yet. Do you know, Raquel? The one we got from Alvin.
What?
We're launching our own brand of products.
Arctic, Pro Arctic.
Right. Yes, that one.
Pro Arctic. Okay. Yeah, if you haven't launched it yet, I don't know that this would be quite helpful yet, but I mean, that's the exact kind of use case that our clients are using this platform for. So like if you're going in and, even for myself, I have my own Amazon stores. I'm going in as I look at launching new brands or new products, and I go in, I analyze those categories. So I think I grabbed something. I think I had toasters for you guys too. So I'll go in and analyze that category ahead of time. Well, this is for the UK, so probably not as relevant since you guys aren't selling over there. But there's things you can look at, like again, that ASINs line versus performance of the category here. Because if you see a downward trend in the category over 2 years and an upward trend in the number of products listed, like pretty big red flag, right? There's less demand and more people selling, so it's not going to look as optimal to go launch a product into that subcategory. So the product launch is a huge use case for our clients because it essentially gives you access to the right data to properly analyze these categories before launching a product, and essentially, helping ensure it's not a failed product launch, right? Because I'm sure you guys know how much money can be wrapped up in that, 5-6 figures. So really, this data is saving our clients from potential 6-figure baths on those new product and brand launches. So that's an absolutely massive use case for this tool here.
Okay, Raquel, these Artec items, I don't know which category do you think it will?
How you guys want to send that?
Products. It's an office products.
Okay, can you send me the brand name through the chat so I can get it right?
R A
R starts with an R.
T
Oh, sorry.
A R no. A R T as in Tom, E as in Edward, K as in Kelly.
But it's ProArtec, I think.
Oh,
ProArtec.
ProArtec.
Take a look here. Okay. Do you know if it's already launched?
Okay, maybe. Oh, yes.
And Alvin, can you look for Alvin?
It may just be too
In office
new.
products.
Alvin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. So this is pulling in just any Alvin product listed. So it looks like it's in a bunch of different categories here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like 20. Oh wow, 2,600 ASINs. Okay. Yeah. So you would be able to then go in and pull that information. So just giving you a better idea of like how you build these segments here too. So this is your dashboard where all of your segments are saved that you've created. And then to create one, you can either use title keywords. You can do brand level comparisons by looking at basically just putting a list of brands in here. Like I'd mentioned, we've mapped over all of the subcategories from Amazon here too. So if it's easiest to just go in and grab those, you can select that category that way, or even just a list of products. So you can just copy and paste a list of ASINs in here too.
Can I do API connections?
API connections?
API connections, yes.
Yeah, so if you wanted to just pull raw data through instead of using our user interface, or you could do both if you wanted, but yes, we do make this data available through an API.
And what is the price of the token?
It depends on how many calls a month you're going to be making through the API, and which data points you're pulling. Because you would have to have, like each data point we're looking at is going to have a different potential endpoint that you would be pulling through.
Okay.
Okay, countertop burners.
Yeah, so you would just select it, hit search. It's going to pull all of the products in that category, and then you can do a bunch of filtering there from there. So you can.
Raquel, which are the countertop cookers that we sell? What brand?
Summit. Yes.
Okay.
I don't see. There it is. Summit appliances. Yes.
Yep. So they would be. Looks like they're shown in this category as well. But this is where you would do any filtering you wanted to do for the category. So like maybe there's noise in the subcategory, or just maybe you guys only sell single top burners as opposed to double top burners. You can go in and filter that type of data out to make sure you're doing direct comparisons. You can also set pricing thresholds for the product showing up, monthly revenue numbers, so like thresholds for how much a product's moving. So like maybe if you guys are looking at launching taking in a new product that you want to sell, you could weed out stuff that's just not moving. So setting a minimum monthly revenue number as well as number of reviews. So that's a good way to exclude like brand new products, things like that. And then there's also the and function for the search. So you can add in additional title keywords, additional brands, search terms that might not be showing here in the data yet, or even additional products. But from there, once you've done all your filtering, you just name your segment, hit save, and it usually takes about 30 minutes to an hour for all of that data to populate into those outputs we were looking at. So relatively straightforward and pretty easy to build those with tons of customization. The other thing I wanted to show you was product insights. So this is where all those products that you set tracking for are going to show up, as well as where you can toggle on and off your alerts. And then this is how you can get back to that individual product page really quickly. And then when it comes to those alerts, those will show up either here in your notifications tab, or you can get them sent straight to your email. And there's a bunch of different things you can set up here. So whether it's setting thresholds for BSR changes, pricing changes, or rating changes, you can also get alerted if new reviews are added or removed, if a listing gets changed, if a buy box owner changes on a listing, number of sellers on a listing changes, or if a product goes in or out of stock as well. So a lot of different notifications that you can set up on those tracked products as well.
Okay, Andy, this share of voice, if I understood well, it can help us boost our sales from our brand by keywords and things like that.
Yep. It would help you drive better strategy when it comes to how you're utilizing keywords and how well brands are performing on keywords.
Okay, right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Raquel, what do you think it's our main FBA problem apart from returns and removals that we find?
I don't know about the FBA issues.
Okay, I
They
know.
manage the major volume is low cost products. FBN is not for high target products.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe you should ask to Alejandro.
Yes. Well, when I work in logistics, we had a big issue that when we had to make removals because a product wasn't selling enough and it was costing us a space in the Amazon warehouse. Much of these removals and returns could be because the product was damaged, whatever. A lot of these products or items, we didn't know at certain point where they were. It said they were sent, we hadn't received it. Sometimes we received a box with a tracking number, very hard to read. We had to kind of guess which to which shipment it belonged to, or it was really a mess. We tried to keep track of that with Google Sheet, which is a very pedestrian way, I have to say.
Yeah, that's not so our platform won't help with any kind of like inventory management or things like that, unfortunately. I think the only thing that we can really help with is hopefully with access to the data. You guys would be able to identify better products that will move, and then that way you don't get hit with those removals from Amazon because the product's not moving quick enough. So that would be the only other thing I could really speak to there.
Okay, and Jungle Scout doesn't have that either.
Yeah, the normal Jungle Scout does not either. Really, the normal Jungle Scout really just helps with the individual product type information. It only goes out, again, I think it's like maybe 6 months in product sales performance. Otherwise, it just gives you monthly snapshots. It can help when it comes to like highlighting the good keywords to be using for your listings. It helps cultivate lists of keywords. So all of your keyword lists you create are going to save here. It also has a listing builder tool that's going to help you optimize your listings. Make sure you're including the correct keywords in that to optimize its performance when it comes to those search results. And then we can help you track rank on keywords as well on products. So these couple of items I just ran through there are all stuff that is available in the other platform, but obviously still available here in Cobalt as well. So organic and sponsored rankings on these search terms, and then obviously there's a lot more that you can track, and you can select which ones are showing up here, but giving you that product performance there as well. The other side of it, there is like product database and opportunity finder. So these can help you identify maybe products that would be potentially good to bring in house, start selling. These are designed to really help that product research side of things, and looking at good products to potentially either launch on your private label or look at maybe third party selling other brands as well too. So those again are both tools that are available in the other platform.
Okay, I don't know if it's much to ask, but for example, I would like to compare how much we there is a brand that I told you before, ASA. I think it's our main supplier. I would like to do how we are doing against other sellers from the same brand. Can we do that?
You would be able to do that. Essentially, there's a couple of different ways you could do it. I won't be able to pull it for you here right on the call because it would take, like I said, like 30 minutes or so for the data to populate. But you could go in and pull just a brand segment view like we had before for just that brand. So if it's ASA.
That's
like that.
Yes.
Sellstores.com. I would like to know how we're doing against other competitors.
Yeah. So from here, what you would do is save segment, and then look at the total brand performance essentially, and then compare that against your sales numbers. So you would see, how much of the sales you're getting. But you could also, once this was actually completed, you could go to that 3P sellers tab and get a feeling for how often you're winning the buy box versus others, roughly how much sales you're seeing for through your store as opposed to other 3P sellers too. So you would be able to do that with this platform.
Okay, and in ad parameter, can we add our sales stores or
no?
No,
okay. not here. But again, you would be able to see all of the sellers, including yourself, on this brand in that 3P sellers tab we looked at earlier for blenders.
Okay.
So like I mentioned on this, that's where you would be able to get in and get some numbers, but obviously your numbers are going to be exact. So if you actually just went and looked at the total brand performance, so total sales numbers, and then compared them to yours, you could easily understand how well you're performing against competitors or other 3P sellers too.
Okay, and can we do an example now? I would like
No, I wouldn't be able to do one on the fly. Like I said, it takes 30 minutes for this data to populate.
Oh, that's why yes, it was too much to ask. Okay, but great. It's great to know that.
Yeah, if you wanted to, I know I saw Alejandro hop in and hop back out again, so I don't know if it'd be worthwhile to run a second demo with maybe him included, and I think you had mentioned maybe your CEO as well. Happy to pull that data ahead of time if you can guide me on what you want to compare, and take a look at that as well in a second demo.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna show him this demo. So well, if he's interested, we can do that. And well, I can give you in advance, for example, what brands are top sellers, so you can populate this beforehand, and he can see in in perspective how we're doing against our competitors, which are weak points, which are strong points, etc. But I think he might be interested in this.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. When we hop off here, I can get you an updated, or I'll get you that recording once it's done processing, because it takes a few minutes afterwards to process everything. And then if you want to, share that information, and then let me know if there's some days and times that work for the whole team, maybe next week or the week after. We can get that call scheduled as well as a good next steps here.
Okay, yeah, I will work with Raquel to see what brands are we most interested in. I'll let you know beforehand so you can have this prepared. And well, I have to ask our CEO because he's very busy. Which well, when he has a time for a second demo, and he can ask you directly. Well, what he would be most interested in.
Okay. Perfect. No, that works for me. I appreciate the time. And like I said, I'll get you that information as soon as I have it available to me here.
Okay. Do we have any time left?
Oh yeah, we still have 9 minutes or so. Is there something else you wanted to take a look at, or?
What can you show me?
I mean, we kind of went through everything within the Cobalt platform here, unless there was something else you wanted to take a look at. Truth be told, I don't have access to the Orange platform itself. That's more of a self-service type tool. And if you wanted to go in and compare, like you had mentioned, some of the capabilities of that tool, you can do that on the pricing page on our website. So that would be here. So you would want to take a look at one of these 3 options, and it has those available.
Okay, but that's not the Cobalt pricing, right?
Yeah, no, this is not Cobalt pricing. This is meant for, like I said, more individual type sellers, like small time sellers essentially.
Which we're not. Okay.
Yeah, you guys would qualify as an
Final
enterprise level.
question. This is a hard one. Why should I use Cobalt instead of Helium-10?
Because Helium-10 cannot deliver this category level information. All their platform as it stands today really only competes with our other Orange tool, giving you like individual product performance.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah,
well,
so like everything we looked at in that segment manager, those segment views, all of that information is not going to be available in Helium-10.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Okay. Yeah, and if you guys think of more questions, definitely feel free to shoot those to me in an email. I'm happy to get those answered for you. And again, I'll follow up here with the recording from our conversation, and then we'll take some next steps from there.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Great. All right. Well, appreciate the time. Great meeting you, Raquel, and we'll look forward to connecting here in another week or 2.
Thank you for your time, Andy.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.